In 2026, the UK February half-term holidays clash with France, Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland and many others, making finding a quiet ski resort almost impossible in this region. However, all is not lost, as I have analysed the regional data for these countries to uncover some surprising options for quiet places to ski in the 2026 half-term. When I realised I was going to spend the next 15 years skiing at half-term, I went looking for strategies to help me avoid the busy pistes and the stresses that they bring. What I discovered was a reliable way to pick resorts each year by analysing country demographic information, travel trends and school holiday data across not just each country, but the individual regions within Europe. In this video, I'll show you what I do each year to find the least crowded resorts in Europe so that my family can spend more time skiing and less time queuing. As well as showing you how I do it, I'm also going to share the results of my 2026 modelling so you know exactly where you should be booking your ski trip this February. So let's get into it. February half-term coincides with many school holidays across Europe, leading to a surge in demand at ski resorts. This overlap results in extremely busy slopes, expensive accommodation, and crowded facilities, as families across Europe flock to popular ski destinations simultaneously. However, all is not lost, as there are shifts in the school holiday schedules across Europe each year, meaning that there are opportunities to find quieter regions in February once you understand the demographics and preferred skiing locations of different nations and cohorts. So let me show you exactly what information to pay attention to when picking a location for your ski holiday this February. Here are the key things to be aware of if you want to understand when and where the crowds will form at ski resorts. Each European nation has a different amount of skiers in their population. According to Statista, the top 3 countries in Europe with the highest number of skiers were: in third place, the UK, with over 6 million active skiers. Not bad for a country with very few ski resorts. In second place, France, with over 8.5 million skiers. And in first place, with over 14.5 million skiers, was, can you guess? Yes, it is Germany. So if you want to understand how to avoid crowded ski slopes, all you need to do is find out when these countries take their school holidays. Right? Wrong. You see, each country is then split into regions, and each region within each country can take their holidays at different times. Often there is significant overlap, which is why areas get busy, but there are also outliers which change each year, and these outliers are the places I go looking for. But you also need to take into account the population density across the regions, as they vary massively and are not evenly distributed. For example, the Paris region of France has by far the largest population any region. So understanding when the Paris school holidays fall is far more important than the timing of holidays in somewhere like Bordeaux. So here is what I do to make sense of all this chaos. First, I understand where the largest skier populations are based within Europe. I use open datasets from websites like Statista to compile all of this. Knowing which countries contribute the largest number of skiers is only the start though. You next need to understand the trends of where these skiers head on their holidays. So I built a model to help make sense of where all the different cohorts typically head to for their holidays. Once I know the number of skiers and where they typically head to, I then gather information on the published school holiday dates for each country. I'll share the links I use in the show notes below. Most large countries are split into regions, and each region typically has its own school holiday dates. So I also need to take into account the population distribution across these regions. As you can see, each country has a different profile. Shout out to the team at Visual Capitalist for the great work that they do, but also remember that the distribution of skiers across countries is not even. Take Italy, for example. As a very rough rule of thumb, the further south you live, the less likely you are to ski. So when I take into account the data for these places, I apply a weighting to the different regions. Now, not every school in the UK takes their half-term break over the same week, but by far the most popular week in 2026 is Monday 16th to Friday 20th, so that is the week that I ran my model on. The British statistician George Box once said, "All models are wrong, but some are useful." And I think that's a healthy way to approach my findings. Okay, so here are my results for 2026. There are 2 regions of interest for the 2026 February school holidays, and they are the Tyrol in Austria and the Pyrenees on the Spanish-French border. And I have selected 4 great resort options in these regions for you to check out. But before we jump into that, let me explain some of the reasoning behind why these regions came out on top this year. First, in France, zones B and C are on holiday at the same time, and Paris is part of Zone C, meaning that much of the northern French Alps will be very congested. Second, in Switzerland, the areas of Zurich and Vaud are on holiday, and Vaud is very close to the northern French Alps, which will only heap more pressure onto that area. Third, the southern German states also clash with the UK, which draws my attention to the potential of Austria. Fourth, there are Austrian clashes with the UK in the regions of Upper Austria and Styria, and although their populations are relatively small at 1.5 million and 1.2 million respectively, they will apply pressure to the neighbouring Salzburg region and its resorts. So although the Salzburg region is not on holiday at the same time as the UK and would normally be in contention, I believe the bleed across from Upper Austria and Styria will still make the Salzburg region busier than Tyrol. The Pyrenees is also an option, as the nearby French regions in Zone C are not on holiday at the same time, and neither are the busy Spanish cities of Madrid and Barcelona that normally contribute a large number of skiers to Pyrenees region. If you find this information useful, and you want to be the first to know where you should be heading for an uncrowded ski holiday in 2027, press the like and subscribe buttons now so you do not miss out. Thanks in advance for your support. So now you know which regions to head to, here are 4 great resorts for you to check out. 3 in Tyrol and 1 in the Pyrenees. I have skied at all these resorts and highly recommend them for families. Today, we're only taking a quick look at Lech, Fiss and Obergurgl in the Tyrol, and then my favourite resort in the Pyrenees, which is Baqueira Berret. Check out my other videos for more in-depth reviews of these resorts. Kicking things off with the legendary Lech, located just a short hop from St. Anton. Lech offers a more upscale, family-friendly vibe compared to its rowdier neighbour. At a max height of 2,450 metres, Lech is home to 305 kilometres of slopes, as it is part of the larger Arlberg area. There are 88 lifts here, giving you access to a huge variety of slopes, from gentle beginner runs to more advanced terrain. Lech is also known for its luxurious accommodations and fine dining. If you're into skiing with a touch of glamour, Lech is the place to be. Don't miss the chance to ski the famous White Ring Circuit, which is an iconic experience for any skier. Now let's head to Fiss, part of the Fisslades Surfhouse area. This region is perfect for families, offering fantastic childcare and plenty of activities for the kids. Fiss reaches a max altitude of 2,820 metres and boasts 214 kilometres of slopes. The area is serviced by 68 lifts, so you'll never have to wait long to hop on the next run. Fiss is known for its sunny plateau, with tons of blue and red runs that cater to beginners and intermediates. And for the little ones, the Bertus Kinderland is a massive children's snow park. Next, we have Obergurgl, Austria's diamond of the Alps. Famous for its high-altitude snow-shore slopes, this resort sits at a towering 3,080 metres, making it one of the highest resorts in Europe. Obergurgl has 112 kilometres of runs and is the perfect spot for those looking to avoid crowds and enjoy pristine snow. There are 25 lifts across the Obergurgl and Hochgurgl areas, and despite its smaller size, this resort packs a punch with its high-quality skiing. If you're after a quieter, more relaxing ski experience with stunning alpine views and reliable snow conditions, this is your place. Baqueira Berret, nestled in Spain's Pyrenees, offers an expansive and diverse ski experience across its 4 interconnected zones. It's a superb choice for families seeking a snowshore, crowd-free ski holiday. With 170 kilometres of piste, the resort caters to all skill levels, featuring 43 blue runs, 48 red runs, and 17 black runs. With its reliable snow conditions, diverse terrain, and welcoming atmosphere, Baqueira Berret offers an exceptional alpine experience for families. So there you have it, 4 great resort options to help you avoid the biggest crowds next half-term. If you have any suggestions on better places to ski in this region for 2026, drop them in the comments section for others to find. Remember that this is relevant for 2026, and in later years the results are sure to be different. So do make sure you subscribe to avoid missing out on next year's results. And to help other skiers discover this video, simply hit the thumbs up and the algorithm will take care of the rest. And if you found this video interesting, you will probably want to watch my other resort reviews like these 2, right here.